Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and tonight it kicks off a 9-game homestand in an all-important 3-game series. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals on Fox Sports Midwest. The Cardinals own the best record in the game, 31 games above 500, 71 wins this season. Pittsburgh 5 games back. How have the Cardinals gotten here? No one having truly a great season, but there have been some very good years along the way. Jason Hayward, Matt Carpenter, and tonight's starter, Carlos Martinez. Well, you think about what's happened this year, Rick Horton. I'm Dan McLaughlin. This has been a team effort.
It really has been fun to watch. The Cardinals just winning night after night, but so are the Pirates, just 5 games back. The Pirates, like the Cardinals, have terrific starting pitching, and their bullpen's pretty good as well.
Really good, and the matchups are really good for the 3 nights here in St. Louis. It begins here in game number 1. Jeff Locke, the former All-Star, the lefty. Carlos Martinez, an All-Star this year. Martinez, Locke, Cards, Pirates, next.
losing baseball. But Clint Hurdle has changed the culture in the Steel City, and only one thing stands in the Pirates' way of a division title and a potential pennant. The St. Louis Cardinals. These two teams find ways to win. They are built on pitching. And when one player goes down, another one steps up. With 9 games to go against one another, anything can happen.
One walks it off. 3 consecutive games end in a walk-off, and what a way to sweep the Pirates out of St. Louis.
Cardinals and Pirates, only on Fox Sports Midwest.
Go. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Inside Busch Stadium, well over 40,000 expected tonight for Game 1 between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Gregory Polanco will lead it off, the right fielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates, followed by Starling Marte and Andrew McCutchen, who's been red hot. Then Aramis Ramirez. Jung Ho Kang is their shortstop. Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez, Francisco Cervelli, and the pitcher batting ninth, that's Jeff Locke. Florimon is a switch hitter. He's on their bench. Travis Ishikawa broke the hearts of Cardinal fans a year ago with the Giants. He's now on the bench for the Pirates. Rodriguez, Stewart, and Morse. Morse, a big power hitter. We saw him with the Marlins. Carlos Martinez gets the call tonight for St. Louis.
Start number 21 for Carlos. His record 11-4, but he has been a winner, and Cardinals tend to win games he starts. In fact, they've won 17 of his 20 starts. Carlos, last time out, was not as sharp. Be looking for him to get that first pitch strike and not worry about getting ground outs, not so much focusing on the strikeout.
Since the beginning of June, the Pirates are second in the National League in runs scored. And a lot of that is due to the fact that Polanco has picked it up. Andrew McCutchen. Kang has been hot since the break. Neil Walker has had an outstanding August. So collectively, the offense has really picked it up.
Well, I think you have to handle the outfielders. And they're 1, 2, 3 in the order. And we'll see what Martinez does here in the top of the first. All three of them very, very good defensively, but offensively as well.
And the first pitch is a strike to Polanco. He's hitting .247. 6 home runs. He's driven in 33. Carpenter is even with the bag at third. Big gap in right center. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. First batter of an inning. And Martinez, for whatever reason, struggles with them. .314 average. Where he does not struggle is with runners in scoring position. He's one of the best. And a fly ball lifted into shallow right. Jason Hayward, 1 away. A look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for right-hander Carlos Martinez.
4-seamer, a sinker, and I like his sinker a lot. He throws it hard, 93, 94 miles an hour. Also has a slider, which when it's good is very good. When it's bad, he's underneath it. And the changeup can be a knockout pitch for him when it's right.
Here's Starling Marte. .285 average. 13 home runs. He's driven in 57.
Is extremely early. He's thrown, 5 pitches? But what I like already about Carlos Martinez is his tempo is slow and he's straight to the plate. I think there are times where he gets a little too quick with his body and he has a hard time staying on top.
Marte pulls it inside the third base line down into the corner. Dug out by Steven Piscotty. 1 out double for Starling Marte.
Marte gets a lot of infield hits, so you've got the infielders playing shallow, pitch middle in, not on top of that quite enough, and there's Carpenter even with the bag, so it cuts down on your range. He's able to play a little deeper, and Marte doesn't run well. Maybe he's got a shot at knocking that down. Of course, you knock it down, you still got to throw out Marte.
Good luck with that.
Very, very hard to do.
National League Player of the Week is Andrew McCutchen, coming off a 9-for-16 week, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Be careful here. 1 out, runner at second base. Good breaking ball. The average against Carlos Martinez with runners in scoring position is 143. That's the best in the National League. With runners on base, it's 197. So he's able to pitch out of trouble most of the time. Well, that's nasty right there.
He's on top of that breaking ball, had a downward tilt to it. Again, when the curveball is hittable, it's flatter. He's underneath it. It spins more than it breaks.
Wong very close to the bag at second. 0-2 on Andrew McCutchen, who's hit just .222 against the Cardinals this year.
We have to worry about the speed of the Pirates too. McCutchen's not running as much as he did his first couple of years in the big leagues, but Marte and Polanco both with more than 20 stolen bases. Both of them not afraid to steal third. And Wong playing close to the bag because that's a good way to defend McCutchen, but the added benefit is keeping him close to the bag.
Big gap in left center. And the 1-2 pitch by Carlos Martinez. After a little Louis Tion. That's hit out of play. Numbers will show you that McCutchen will take the ball up the middle more times than not.
A lot of good hitters you can say that about, and he certainly is that. Not only a good hitter, but a good hitter with power. 17 home runs, 74 RBIs, are 4th in the National League.
And the 1-2 again. Crowd still filing in. It's a beautiful night for baseball as we play in the middle of August here in St. Louis. Nine-game homestand for the Cardinals. Miami will come through. We'll see San Francisco for the first time this year. Then an off day, and we'll head out for a long trip out west.
It's kind of made the correlation in my head, and it's a bit of a jump because Randal Grichuk has just started playing. But Grichuk and McCutchen with short swings, flat bats, not big guys with extreme power.
And a called third strike. No argument from McCutchen. First of the night for Carlos Martinez. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Defense for the Cardinals tonight. Piscotty is in left. Grichuk in center. And Jason Hayward is in right. Matt Carpenter, your third baseman. Johnny Peralta at short. Wong and Reynolds on the right side of the infield. Yadier Molina behind home plate. That's presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Here's Aramis Ramirez. Backward, all started for him. Traded away by Milwaukee. He said this will be his final season in the big leagues. And what a career he's had against the Cardinals alone. 208 games, 37 home runs, 144 RBIs, most among active players against St. Louis. Watching the two best teams, not just in the Central, but in baseball here tonight.
I think we are. As of this date, yes. Toronto getting better. Kansas City in that discussion.
Fastball and a good one. 1-2. 98 from Carlos Martinez. Carlos has had a couple of starts against the Pirates this year. May 9th, went 5 1/3, gave up 7 earned. Then on July 9th, 7 1/3, no runs allowed. One-two pitch, and he's hit by the pitch. That ran up and in and caught Ramirez.
The Pirates get hit a lot, Dan, and Marte up among the league leaders. And you got Ramirez getting hit. That ball way up and in. Gung gets hit a lot, 15 times.
And they hit a lot, too. They're pitchers.
I think Cincinnati is aware of that.
They don't like each other too much, do they?
Well, they didn't for a couple of days. Let's put it that way.
Jung Ho Gung.
I asked some friends in Cincinnati, does this mean that the Pirates have replaced the Cardinals as the arch villain? Got a very simple answer back. No.
Not as long as Molina is there and Adam Wainwright. Guys that have been in that Cardinal uniform for a number of seasons. 2 outs, 2 on. Last 23 games for Gung, he's hitting close to 400. His average at 375. And since the All-Star break, hitting 368.
Transitioning to shortstop, Jordy Mercer has begun a rehab assignment tonight, as has Josh Harrison. So they've got some reinforcements coming, too.
The 1-1. Lined into right field. Hayward is over. He'll look up, and one hops off the wall. Gung on his way to second base. Ramirez held at third. Marte scores, and it's 1-0 Pittsburgh. A 2-out double, RBI number 40 for Gung.
This ball is hit hard the other way. The location is away, but it's up. And so Gung is able to get the bat head on it, line it into that right field corner. Hayward does a nice job of running that down so Ramirez can't score. Now, Ramirez doesn't run very well. Of course, he's been around this game for a long time. And the smart move with him is to keep him at third with the arm of Hayward.
The switch hitting Neil Walker, 348, his average here in the month of August. Runners at second and third with 2 outs. And a ground ball hit to Reynolds. Flips to Martinez. The Pirates strand 2. But they pick up the first run in this series. 2-out double by Jung Ho Gung. 1-0 Pittsburgh. 1-0 Pirates on a double by Jung Ho Gung, his 40th RBI this year. Carpenter, Long, and Peralta here in the first, followed by Hayward, Grichuk, and Molina. Then Piscotty, Reynolds, and Martinez. On the bench for Mike Matheny's club, Brandon Moss from the left side. And then it'll be Borges, Cosma, and Cruz from the right side. Jeff Locke, 22nd start this year.
Lockett does not pitch well on the road. He's had a problem with that all season long. We'll be watching the Cardinals lefties against Locke. And it's going to be important for him to get a nice strike zone. He's a guy that will pitch in on right-handed batters, Dan, but if he's not getting that pitch, he doesn't have the overpowering stuff, and he can be hittable. Last 4 outings for Locke, he's given up either 3 or 4 runs in each one of those games. So Cardinals can get that many. I think that'd be good news, and maybe good enough.
Here's Carpenter hitting .266, now with 17 home runs. He's driven in 60. Last 10 games, he's been on a tear with the power numbers. He's had 5 doubles. He's up to 29, and he had 33 all of last year.
So if he hits a home run in a game that Martinez is pitching, who's responsible for throwing water in his face?
That's a great question.
Has that been delegated to your knowledge?
No, but I put nothing past Carlos, even when he started. He'll be there with that water.
Oh, he might be.
But he might be on base, too. 3-0. I get a kick out of that.
I do, too.
I love watching Carlos Martinez, and the way he goes about the game, the exuberance, the fun, the smiling, the water, the dances, the high fives.
I was thinking about that the other day and how much fun it was to watch, because those things kind of evolve on a team. Little things back and forth between teammates. You spend a lot of time together. You can't really plan those things. You can't force them. You don't want to over choreograph them. They just kind of happen. And it is fun to watch.
A broken bat into the seats and a base hit into center. Leadoff hit for Matt Carpenter. Get a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Jeff Locke.
Sinker, changeup, curveball, and a 4-seamer. Curveball could be a good pitch for him, especially against left-handers. But that fastball in on right-handers and away from lefties is going to be a key pitch to watch.
And here is Colton Wong.
One way to say that, Dan, is, and pitching coaches will say this a lot with young guys. They'll say he has a hard time making a good pitch to his glove side. So the arm side is a little easier. You don't have to finish it quite the same way. But when you have to extend and get it to the outer half, sometimes it's tougher to make a good pitch. That's what he's aiming for there.
If you're wondering, against Francisco Cervelli this year, there's been 85 stolen base attempts. He's caught 15, so roughly 18%, just under it. I really thought the Pirates were going to miss Russell Martin, and I think they do, but Cervelli has done a very nice job. 2 balls, 1 strike on Colton Wong.
Martin brought some leadership. Martin brought some power. Cervelli, the Pirates people tell me, has been good. Has been really good. And asked if he's been Martin good, the answer is no.
Not many are.
Right.
He's one of the best in the game. 2-1 is chopped towards second base. Walker will get the lead man. And Wong is safe at first. Take a look at the Pirates defensively tonight. Behind Jeff Locke, Marte in left, McCutchen in center, and Polanco is in right. All 3 can run. They're athletic. All 3 have pretty good arms. Ramirez, Gung, Walker, and Alvarez along the infield, and Cervelli is behind the plate. Let's see if the Cardinals may want to run here with Colton Wong.
Colton's starting to become more and more of an accomplished base stealer, I think, as time goes on. He struggled in the early going this year, getting picked off and kind of getting bad jumps. A lot of base stealing is confidence.
I wonder how gun-shy he was after the World Series of 2013. I mean, how does that not play into a young player's mind after being picked off to end a World Series game?
It would be natural, I think, for somebody to have that in the back of their mind. That's part of the challenge of playing at this level, is what you do is remembered.
Yeah.
I mean, what if he got picked off in a Double-A game to lose Game 3 of the Texas League? I mean, we wouldn't know that.
It stays with you.
I mean, the people there would remember it, and he would probably remember it, but it wouldn't be so kind of in your face all the time.
That's ripped into left center field off the bat of Peralta. Wong into third as it's bobbled by McCutchen. Love to see that aggressive running of Colton Wong. There was zero hesitation from the Cardinals second baseman.
Such an important part of the game, going first to third. You got to get the jump first. You got to want it second. And it helps to have good speed. I think the wanting it might be half the battle. I mean, it just sometimes seems easy to just go base to base and station to station. I think the Cardinals this year have become more aggressive.
And it was a point of emphasis to be more aggressive, in particular going first to third. 1 out, 2 on. Hayward chops it to first. Alvarez goes to second. Hayward is out at first. And Mike Matheny hops out of the dugout. Nice play by Pedro Alvarez. We'll see if they turn two.
Yeah, the Pirates are not leaving the field yet. Let's look at this call, and
he's safe.
He's very safe, in fact.
And a run will score, and this game will be tied up at 1-1. They'll take a review, but clearly he is safe.
Well, here's a case of Ron Kolpa understandably focusing on the foot and the glove. You got to focus on the foot, the glove, and the runner's foot on the base. That's 3 things to look at the same time. Cardinal fans now know this is a wasted phone call.
It'll be a tie ball game. Hayward bringing in Colton Wong.
It's one of the things I say about the Don Denkinger moment in the '85 World Series, that I believe that is as tough a call as you've got to make when you're watching a ball caught high. You're trying to listen for that sound, but when it's flipped, it's very difficult because you're trying to see the catch, watch the foot on the bag, and the timing of the runner all at the same time. It's understandable why those kind of plays are missed.
Here comes the reaction of the crowd. It also extends the inning to Randal Grichuk.
No doubt here, the foot of Hayward beats the throw. Nice play by Alvarez, who's made 16 errors, by the way. That is a ton of errors for a first baseman.
No longer at third. He was the everyday third baseman for the Pirates. And a check on Hayward as he's back in safely.
Dan, I mentioned 1985. Our first pitch was thrown out today by one of the bobblehead winners or members of that 85 team that got a bobblehead, Ken Daly, who threw out the first pitch to his son Kenny. And good to see Ken at the ballpark. He had a terrific season in 1985 and had his family out here, longtime friend, and he had a great embrace after the first pitch by Pirate friends, Clint Hurdle and Nick Leyva. They came out to greet him, which I thought was a very nice moment.
Ken Daly, third pick back in 1980 by then the Atlanta Braves. And then he came to St. Louis, many forget, with Mike Jorgensen, who still works for the Cardinals in the front office, from Atlanta for Ken Oberkfell. And For Ken Daly, first season was in 1994, or rather 84, and finished up in 1990. Very good career. Slowly hit to third. Ramirez to first, and that gets away. Hayward on his way to third. You see that coming with the way that Ramirez was throwing that baseball, slinging it over to first and threw a sinker that Alvarez could not come up with.
Well, I'm not going to say this is a very good throw. Trust me, I'm not saying that, but I think this ball's got to be caught too by Alvarez on the other end. This is not a hard scoop really for him, and he doesn't even get a glove on it. And I'm not sure whether he was worried about the runner coming down or he just kind of an awkward stab at that. Again, the throw was bad, no question about it, but I think a better first baseman defensively might save that error. That's what teammates are for.
Pick you up, right?
I'm still waiting for you to make your first mistake, and I am going to pick you up.
Oh.
I'm waiting for it. Been waiting all these years.
Wait a minute. Who is that out there? Help me.
That's Molina bouncing out. But the Cardinals.
What happened?
The Cardinals picked up a run, Dan.
What?
They got a couple
Help
of hits.
me.
Stranded two. We're on to the second, Dan. It's 1-1.
That's my teammate. Let's turn to our Toyota keys to the game.
Well, a couple of points that I think are important in this game. One has to do with Carlos Martinez, our starter, and quick outs for Carlos. And he didn't get a lot of those in the first inning, but when he's getting outs in a hurry with ground balls and sinkers down in the zone, I think he just kind of gets the feel of the game, and it's better for him. Lock versus lefties. Cardinals with 4 left-handers, make that 3 left-handers in their lineup, but 3 of the first 4 hitters. How they fare against Locke today may tell us what kind of game he's going to have.
So here is Pedro Alvarez. There was some talk that around Major League Baseball that Alvarez could be on the move at the trade deadline. He's got 15 home runs. He's driven in 53 and batting .234. And he looks at a strike. Colton Wong is on the outfield grass. I've had the chance to visit with Pedro a number of times, and he is one classy guy.
Seems in so many ways that he's ultimately going to be an American League player.
DH maybe?
Yeah.
He has something that so many teams are looking for, and that's power. You talk to anybody around the game today, they say teams are looking for power in any kind of position, any way they can find it. Second strikeout for Carlos Martinez. That was a good changeup, Rick, that's been very good against left-handed batters this year.
Well placed down and away. You sell it with the arm action, but the location helps.
Francisco Cervelli hitting .307, 6 home runs. He's driven in 36. On deck, the pitcher, Jeff Locke. Ballpark is really filled up as we approach 8 o'clock here in St. Louis. Big crowd in such an important series beginning tonight between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Five of the 10 meetings between the clubs so far this year have been decided by extra innings. The Cardinals, by the way, have won 11 of the last 13 here at Busch Stadium. They've been fun games.
Well, that 3-game homestand in early May was unbelievable. The walk-off wins, terrific games, all 3 of them.
2 hops, hit to short, 2 down. Ninth place hitter Jeff Locke hitting .103. No home runs, 2 RBIs. And if you like pitching, you're going to see that in this series. 5 of the 6 starters are in the top 15 in ERA. These 2 teams collectively 1 and 2 in ERA this season in baseball. The Cardinals #1.
Well, Dan, if you like pitching, I hope you bought season tickets.
It's been that kind of year.
Night after night.
And a ground ball hit to short. Peralta up with it. 1, 2, 3 to the Pirates. Piscotty, Reynolds, and Martinez coming up. Maybe are on the mend. And with that, we check in with Jim Hayes.
All right, Dan, there are a bunch of injuries to update, so why don't we start, Mo, with Matt Adams. I know he's making progress.
He is. Obviously, when he was first injured, we thought he was going to be lost for the season, but we're still hopeful he's going to get out there and play. And, you know, I think the key thing for him is being able to put him on a rehab assignment. So, obviously, the clock's ticking because most of our minor leagues end in the first week of September, but we're still hopeful that he can get out there and do it.
He's hitting off a tee. That's a good sign. How about John Jay? I know he's coming along as well.
He is, but he's only hitting off a tee right now, so we have to be patient with him, but still hopeful that he'll be back contributing to this club sometime in September.
Matt Holliday, is there any update on him? And I know with his, it's the second tear, you have to be extra careful.
Well, that's true, but I think he's sort of in that same time frame as John Jay, maybe a little longer. But again, getting these guys back in September would be a big boost.
Now, Adam Wainwright is in the outfield bouncing around today. He's telling everyone, I think there's a good chance I can pitch this season. How do you look at it?
Well, I'm probably looking at it in a set of lenses as a little bit more cautious. But look, if he's chasing something and wants to try to do something, we're not going to stop him unless it's just not in his best interest physically. But the fact that he's working hard and is focused on getting back, I think is a great thing.
If he's healthy and he says he's able to pitch, is that something you guys would risk if that were to happen later on this season? And I know that's kind of getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, and I think I'd have to talk to our medical staff and allow those guys to weigh in and tell me exactly what they think in terms of what the risk proposition would look like on that. But haven't had those discussions at this point. So in my mind, he's still just working hard to get back to the mound, but likely next spring.
Last thing, Pirates in town. Great series between the two this season. Mike Matheny was talking about it before the game, saying it's okay for his players to get excited about this series as long as it's not a distraction. You get excited watching these two teams compete?
Sure. I mean, as you mentioned, it's been a back and forth matchup all year, and candidly, over the last couple of years, it's been they've been a really fun team to play. And when you go to Pittsburgh, it's always an electric feeling, and obviously when teams come and visit Busch, they know what they're getting here. So it does have a little bit of that playoff atmosphere from time to time when you're playing two good clubs, and that's fun to watch.
Should be fun. Thanks for the time, Mo.
You bet, Jim.
All right, Danny.
Good stuff. Thank you, Jim. 2 balls, no strikes on Carlos Martinez. Piscotty flying to right. Reynolds grounded out to third. And the 2-0 pitch. Two and two.
What's fun about these two teams now is that the Pirates have made such a transition in the last few years to make these games like that. I mean, to go to PNC Park now is as John mentioned, just an exciting place to be. But you've got to credit Clint Hurdle and Neil Huntington with turning things around in Pittsburgh in a hurry.
Lock his first strikeout of the night. We head to the third in a 1-1 game. On the road traveling and want to watch your Cardinals, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. It's amazing what you can get here at the ballpark. Peanuts, popcorn, Cracker Jack, baby formula.
The line's a little shorter for that.
It is. I noticed. Top of the lineup, and Gregory Polanco. Polanco fly to right first time up, and that pitch is taken for a ball. Adam Hamari is calling the balls and strikes tonight. Ron Colby at first. Larry Vanover's your crew chief at second base. Vic Carapazza is down at third. Well hit, deep right. Hayward back at the wall, and it's off the top of the wall. Polanco racing to third, and he'll be in there with a triple.
I'm not so sure that Jason Hayward didn't have that ball in the glove, and then the top of the wall knocked it out. I think he was surprised he didn't catch that ball. He's up against the wall. We'll look at it on the replay. He reaches up, and there it is, off his glove. The wall may have mistimed it a little bit, but by the time he gets his glove up, I think he's surprised he didn't make that play. Just barely stayed in the ballpark.
So a leadoff triple for Gregory Polanco, and it brings in Starling Marte, and it brings the infield in of St. Louis. Up and in to Marte, who doubled inside the third base line back in the first and scored the lone run for Pittsburgh tonight.
You know, that's a play not a lot of people on the planet make, but that's a play Jason Hayward should make.
Here's a 1-0. Popped up. And who wants it? It'll be Peralta. Big out there.
Polanco has a lot of gifts, and one of them is his speed. But you've got to get help from your third base coach, too. Where do you slide? Go right here, right here. That's a man getting into his work.
Did Hayward save a home run? Does that leave the ballpark? Tough to tell. And I do agree with you. I think he should have made the catch.
Yeah. Well, and I say should have made the catch because he's Jason Hayward, and that's a big kind of condition to that statement.
McCutchen struck out his first time up.
I mean, you and I are still running back to the wall still.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in position. He was close enough to the wall by the time the ball reached the top of the fence that, you know, he's tall enough, agile enough, gifted enough.
0-2.
But I do think a break that it stayed in the park.
McCutchen has been much better at home this year with his average at 340, 260 on the road. And that's what he's done against St. Louis, the 222 average coming into play tonight. His time is called. This is a big pitch right here, 0-2 on McCutchen. The Cardinals with the major's best pitching staff, and it's just historic what they're doing. Mound was lowered in 1969. Their ERA of 2.60, third lowest in that time. The 1972 Orioles 2.53, the 72 Athletics 2.58. Can he put him away on 0-2? Lifted down the right field line and out of play. This rotation, the best since the 1985 Dodgers. 2.77 ERA for the Dodgers. And the bullpen is the best ERA since the '72 Pirates. It's incredible what this pitching staff has done.
To a man.
The 0-2. He got him. Strikeout number 3 for Martinez, and none bigger than that one.
This is the National League leader in hitting with runners in scoring position, Andrew McCutchen. He struck out looking in the first. Molina sets up outside to make sure Martinez gets it outside. And talk about a challenge. Pitching to McCutchen, period. Runners in scoring position, but you got the infield in, too. He's a .500 hitter under those circumstances.
Ramirez gets a 2-out base hit. And the Pirates have regained the lead. It's 2-1. Both runs have been scored with 2 outs.
Ramirez, another RBI. That's 145 in his career against the Cardinals. There's a hole between third and short, just past a diving Carpenter. Molina wants it outside again. Where's the location? Sits on the inner half. That's a hanger. Boy, the number of times Aramis Ramirez has taken advantage of hangers. Seems like over the years we've thrown him a bunch of them. Not taking anything away from him naturally, but I just think he's a guy that has just done well against the Cardinals, and we haven't really helped ourselves against him.
1 ball, 1 strike on Jung Ho Kang, who doubled into the right field corner with 2 outs, picked up an RBI back in the first. The 1-1. 1-2. The Pirates, and here we are not even through this 3rd inning, already with 7 at bats with runners in scoring position. The 2-2 hit out of play.
Carlos was unable to finish off Ramirez in the first inning. He hit him, though he was ahead in the count. That led to Gung's double and a run. He was unable to finish off Ramirez in the inning in the 3rd inning by making a bad pitch to him. There's your 2-run.
2-2 pitch. Strikeout of Gung. A 2-out RBI base hit by Aramis Ramirez, scoring Gregory Polanco, who reached 3rd after this near catch by Hayward. 2-1 midway through 3. Cardinals get 9 hits tonight. You're invited into Krispy Kreme tomorrow to receive a dozen of their original glazed donuts for only $3.99. Stop by one of the 4 St. Louis area Krispy Kreme locations for this sensational deal. Matt Carpenter will lead it off, followed by Colton Wong and Johnny Peralta. Pirates picked up a run in the top of the first. The Cardinals answered with a run of their own. And Pittsburgh on the 2-out RBI base hit by Ramirez moments ago. They now own a 2-1 lead. Carpenter singled to center field with a broken bat. His first time up. One ball, one strike. It's always interesting to see how certain teams position their defense with Matt Carpenter. Some play straight up. The Rockies shifted with Carpenter. There's so many variables that go into play in how teams defend Matt Carpenter. Lefty on the mound here. Ramirez is off the line at third, and they're straight away in the outfield.
We've seen third baseman play in on the grass against Carpenter, play in more shallow. I see that variation really at work with the shifting in general. Dan, what do you do with the guy that's the lone guy on the left side of the infield? Do you put him at shortstop? Do you play him up the middle? Do you play him in a little bit more? I've seen a lot of kind of different looks in the last month or so.
Inside to Carpenter and a leadoff walk. Well, tomorrow Fox Sports Midwest brings you 2 episodes of Cardinals Legends. First at 5:30, it's Cardinals Countdown. Then at 6, we recap great moments in past pennant races. Cardinals Legends brought to you by your Mid-America Chevy dealers. Tomorrow at 5:30 and 6 on Fox Sports Midwest. We'll have our pregame show at 6:30, the play-by-play at 7.
You mentioned the Cardinal legend Ken Daly, who was so good in 1985. I almost have to mention him in the same breath with Todd Worrell. Had breakfast with both those guys this morning. And Ken's here at the ballpark today, and a lot of the Cardinal greats have decided to make St. Louis their home.
Can I one-up you? I was hanging out with Ozzie before the game. How about that, huh?
That's pretty good.
No big deal. Just the Wizard was hanging out with me. No big deal. Really.
So the hitters were together and the pitchers were together, as usual.
Tom Hankey was here at the ballpark. Had a nice conversation with him. He calls Jefferson City his home.
And Tom Hankey will be going to the fantasy camp for the first time next January.
Isn't it a prerequisite, though, for the Legends? They got to at least be able to throw a little bit.
Well, throw or be funny or be able to coach some, be able to tell stories.
I bet Tom Hankey can still light it up a little bit.
He can do probably all of those things. Very nice man.
Inside to Colton Wong. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Todd Worrell can still throw hard. Cal Eldred. Jason Isringhausen was throwing low to mid 90s in the fantasy camp. That's ripped into right field for a base hit. Carpenter to the bag at second, and the first 2 have reached. Also had the chance to visit with a legend in his own mind, and that's Adam Bennis, one of the Bennis brothers.
Oh, he's great.
You should get him down to fantasy camp. He's hilarious.
He is the funniest of the Bennis brothers. No question about it. There's the swing of Colton Wong. He packs a wallop. He's got that high leg kick. Generates a lot of bat speed. Hits the ball hard. Adam, many people don't know, was a Cardinal minor leaguer.
Right.
For years. And at 1.3 Bennis brothers in the organization. Adam playing at minor league level, but another good friend.
Here's Peralta. Taps and foul. Johnny with a base hit into center field back in the first inning. First two have reached here in the bottom of the third.
Well, the arms will come into play here. You've got a plus arm in left, got a plus arm in right. You've got a good arm in center.
The 0-1. Make it 0-2.
You've really got three center fielders in the outfield for the Pirates. Three guys that can play center field. Polanco has some errors this year, 5 of them. McCutchen has the best reputation. Marte's thrown out 10 guys at either third, second, or home. 10 outfield assists.
I think it'll be this way every time I see Polanco. I just think Oscar Taveras.
Yeah, I do too.
You know, those two were mentioned in the same breath this time last year. Two of the best prospects in the game of baseball. The 1-2. Nice play by Cervelli to keep that in front, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Locke, by the way, not getting that fastball in that we talked about on Peralta the pitch prior. It's going to be an important pitch for him. This is a curveball, well blocked by Cervelli. Shifting the body, squaring up. So if it does bounce away, it's going to bounce in front of him. Good technique.
Base hit could tie this game up. The 2-2. Swung on and missed by Peralta. Strikeout number 2 for Jeff Locke.
Danny, I think of Oscar Taveras at times when we talk about Jason Hayward or Randall Grichuk or Stephen Piscotty.
Agreed. Now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use the hashtag MWDataStrongFan, and it's presented by T-Mobile. Here's Jason Hayward. Picked up an RBI back in the first. These two teams battling it out here in the Central Division. Still a long ways to go before it's all said and done. There's Hayward. It's a slow roller up the first base line and safe. They missed the tag. Alvarez missed the tag, and what an athletic slide by Jason Hayward.
No argument from Alvarez. That's going to be an infield hit. Glenn Hurdle is on the top step asking his folks to look at it. But Alvarez, I think, giving all the indication that he did miss him. And yeah, he did. Good slide.
Jason Hayward is 6'5", and he missed the tag.
That's a lot of person to miss. By the way, all 3 lefties have been on base twice. 2 for fielder's choices, but 3 hits and a walk in there as well.
And now Grichuk with the bases loaded. First pitch, a strike. Inning started with a walk to Matt Carpenter. Wong a base hit into right.
Lefty.
Then Peralta struck out.
Lefty.
And Hayward, infield hit. The 0-1. Grichuk this season with the bases loaded is 2 for 5 with 6 RBIs. The 1-1. Well, you're right. He's able to get in on these right-hands. It's a good example of that previous pitch.
That's the make or break pitch for him. If he can get it in there. Again, that's the glove side. Right-handers get their arms extended. He's only throwing 90-91, which is okay, but you got to pitch inside. Asking for it up.
In the dirt, 2-2.
Asked for it up, but wanted it down. Those tricky catchers.
It's such a long season, the grind. But a series like this injects life into the crowd, into the teams, into the atmosphere. The 2-2. Grichuk 0 for 2, and the Cardinals need a 2-out hit from Molina.
And this is a fastball to get Grichuk where? Up and in. Grichuk just a little late.
Molina came up with 2 runners on and grounded out to short. He's got the bases loaded here. First pitch to him. Bounce to second base, backing up Walker, and he makes the play. Jeff Locke pitches out of a bases loaded jam. Pirates still on top. It's 2-1. The StubHub app is personalized just for you. Now with the StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. Cardinals waste a golden opportunity. Bases loaded, only 1 out, and they do not score.
I was impressed with the way you controlled the crowd. You said that the moment was an important moment. The series can have some great moments to it, and as if you were a conductor of a symphony.
Yes. What's that thing they hold? I call it a pen, but I have no idea what it is. Just tap that thing and start waving it around.
Now, wait a minute. We should know what that's called, but I can't think of it either.
No.
The conductor thing.
It's kind of like the Raboski on the back of the mound.
What is that thing? Is it a wand?
Conductor's wand. Baton.
I'll take your word for it.
It's not mine. It's the guys in the truck in my ear. It's the baton, you idiot. All right, sorry. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Neil Walker. One away. BJC Healthcare difference maker as we go deeper into the Cardinals pitching. Fewest earned runs in the first 111 games of the season allowed by pitching staff. This is since 1969. Some great staffs on that list, including this year's Cardinals.
I don't remember the New York Yankees being that good pitching wise in 1985, but obviously they were. But a different era in '72, and the Cardinals are doing something that we just have not seen lately.
Deep center, Alvarez. A line shot, home run, and it's 3-1 Pittsburgh. Pedro Alvarez, home run number 16. He has had big home run years before. 2013 he had 36. Year before that he had 30. And he's closing in on what he did a year ago, which was 18. Tremendous power, and that was a line shot off his bat.
Well, when he hits him, there's no question about where it's going. Squares that up. He knows it already. Grichuk knows it already. Ball just jumps off his bat.
Really good power to left center and left field. Here's Francisco Cervelli.
So Carlos Martinez has to be thinking right now, how do I stay in this and not let it unravel from here? I mean, it'd be easy to kind of start thinking kind of negatively or thinking about what just happened instead of what's going to happen next. And the guy that's been a good example on how to do that is John Lackey.
There's a broken bat. And a low throw that's scooped by Reynolds. That's that wooden baton out there that many conductors like to use. It's situated in Johnny Peralta's hands now.
You can make a few conductors' wooden batons out of that.
Yeah. And it brings in Jeff Locke. Give Locke a lot of credit. Last inning, Cardinals had runners at first and second, nobody out, with 3, 4, and 5 coming up. He struck out Peralta. Hayward had the infield hit, in which you think he could unravel at that point. Should have been an out. Strikes out Grichuk, and then Molina grounds out to end the threat.
The reason I mentioned Lackey is Lackey has had a number of games this season where he has not been sharp in a particular inning. Well, I can't say a number of games he's been so good, but he's found a way to stay in it and give his team a chance to win.
No doubter here. RBI number 54, home run number 16. Pedro Alvarez.
Pirates have not been flawless defensively. McCutchen booted one in center. This almost good play by Alvarez. Then the low throw by Ramirez is an error and gets past Alvarez. And again, Pedro a part of a play at first base where he can't tag Jason Hayward. So there have been some holes defensively. The Pirates are next to last in the National League as far as fielding percentage is concerned. The Cardinals have just not fully capitalized on that in the first third of this game.
Strongest jaws in the business belong to Clint Hurdle. He is always chomping on that gum.
Now, is that a verified sabermetric stat?
Yep. It was right next to Babbitt. One ball, one strike on Stephen Piscotty. Piscotty hits it sharply past third and off the glove of Ramirez down into the corner. And it's another double for Stephen Piscotty.
Piscotty's been very steady since coming up from AAA. He gets a hit a game, it seems like, and hasn't had his first major league home run yet, but finds his ways to get on, finds his ways to contribute. At nearly 86 miles an hour off the bat of Piscotty, but well placed.
In steps Mark Reynolds, grounded out to third, his first time up. The Cardinals on the recent road trip won 2 out of 3 against Cincinnati, 2 out of 3 over the weekend against Milwaukee. They hit 6 home runs on the trip. The bullpen gave up a total of 2 runs. They were sensational. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last home run for Mark Reynolds was against the White Sox at their ballpark. Nearly a month.
Hasn't played a lot in the last month.
Especially with the addition of Moss and Piscotty. The 2-1.
That 1-1 pitch, such a key pitch in this game. It didn't go Locke's way, didn't get the fastball in. Then you get the advantage. Reynolds, by being ahead in the count. There are certain guys in this league that need to get calls at key moments, and I think Locke's one of those players. Always felt that way about Kyle Loesch.
3-2. I thought you put it best. It was kind of tough watching Kyle Loesch the other night.
Oh boy,
he was hitting 90 on the gun. Looked exhausted. He looked worn out too. 3-2. Reynolds fights it off, and it's caught by Walker. Piscotty back to the bag at second. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
Dan, wasn't too long ago Jordan Walden seemed on the verge of returning to the Cardinals. Now it's uncertain as to when he'll be back. Walden has been on the DL since late April with a bicep issue. He made a couple of minor league rehab appearances. Now he's backing off, just rehabbing, no pitching. Walden told me, quote, "My arm wasn't strong enough. I just wasn't myself." He says he'll rehab for a couple of weeks and see where he is in terms of recovery. Dan, John Mozeliak told me Walden doesn't have the strength or confidence to push it. Not right now.
Not what you want to hear either. Here's Carlos Martinez, was called out on strikes back in the second inning. And he lifts a fly ball into right center. Piscotty will tag up. Catch made by McCutchen. And it brings in back Carpenter. Also time for a DraftKings update. Highest OPS, National League rookies, Grichuk, Paulson, Franco, and Gung.
We understand there's a large percentage of our audience that doesn't know a lot about OPS. Many do, but many don't. OPS is a combination of your slugging percentage and your on-base percentage. So it's going to track when somebody not only can hit, but can hit with power.
I think you really have to appreciate on that graphic as well the mustache of Ben Paulson.
That does not figure into OPS,
no,
as I understand it.
2 outs, runner at third. Cervelli's really done a nice job keeping that ball in front with runners on. The Cardinals have had runners on every inning with the exception of inning number 2.
We've got stats for everything. I don't believe I've seen the very present stat that everybody kind of looks at in terms of percentage of pitches that are blocked by catchers. That might tell you something.
There's pitch framing.
Yes.
In which a catcher, and there's a stat for this, will get those borderline calls for their pitchers. Framing statistic. One ball, one strike on Matt Carpenter.
Subjective a bit.
Carpenter, by the way, with 19 of his 60 RBIs against left-handed pitching. And even better numbers when you look at 2 outs, runners in scoring position. The bottom line is this guy is a tough out. Those 19 ribbies tied for 4th best in the National League. The 2-1. This is already the 9th at bat for the Cardinals with a runner in scoring position tonight. St. Louis has stranded 5 already. The 3-1 pitch. Carpenter lifts a fly ball into left center. There's Marte and his good speed. Camps under it and makes the catch. Right now 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position for the Cardinals. And really, in particular, too, Rick, when you look at the third inning, first and second, Peralta up, nobody out. Then eventually, bases loaded, 1 out, and the Cardinals don't score. A liner and just over Colton Wong and into right field, and Gregory Polanco is aboard.
Pitch down in the zone. It's a changeup. And he went way down to get it outside of the zone. Must have been looking for that or saw it out of the hand perhaps of Martinez. Good effort by Colton Wong. Well, Dan, you mentioned that Cardinal third inning, the strikeout of Peralta and the strikeout of Grichuk were big pitches for Locke in that inning.
Now it's Starling Marte. Polanco with 20 steals this year. He's been caught 7 times. Marte, their team leader, with 22. 0-1 pitch. Make it 0-2. Marte has doubled inside the third base line and scored the first run of our contest. And with the infield in, nobody out, runner at third, popped out back in the third inning.
Not really sure where the future of Starling Marte is in terms of where he hits in the batting order. He strikes out a lot, 94 strikeouts. You think, well, maybe a good hit and run combination right here because of the speed of Polanco, but you just don't like the strikeouts in that second spot. But certainly has the power.
Line drive and a base hit into right field. 0-2 mistake by Martinez. And Marte has his second hit. And the first 2 have reached, and it brings in Andrew McCutchen.
0-2, he's trying to protect. And clears out, drives it the other way. It's kind of an unstable lower half in that swing. But he tried to avoid the strikeout we were talking about. 94 of them, that's a lot. But Martinez couldn't get him there. Couldn't finish him off.
This becomes a very important inning now for Carlos Martinez. 2 on, nobody out. Here's McCutchen, who's had a tough night. The 0-1. McCutchen called out on strikes back in the first. 1 out, runner at third. In the third, he struck out swinging. Here's a 1-1. Pirates are chasing the Cardinals, of course, here in the Central, but they are the leaders of the National League wild card. If it ended today, Pittsburgh and Chicago would be in. So 3 teams from the Central would be in postseason play. San Francisco 3.5 games back. 1-2 is popped up. Reynolds giving chase along with Wong and Hayward, and it's out of play. The Cardinals will face Miami this weekend minus Jose Fernandez, coming back from Tommy John surgery. He's been put on the DL, dealing with a bicep injury. And Angel Pagan late this afternoon. We'll see the Giants at the end of this homestand. Pagan put on the DL, so we won't see him in that series. That could be big, too. Good player.
Very good player. Solid major league player.
The mantra this year for the Pirates has been win the division. Let's not just get into the playoffs. Let's win the division. As they saw last year with Madison Bumgarner, you run into a hot pitcher and all of a sudden your season is over in one night. The 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, tough to turn to. Peralta steps on the bag, hits a double play. Even with the speed of McCutchen, the Cardinals turn 2.
Well, the tough night of McCutchen continues. He struck out twice in key situations and then hits into a double play, changes the complexion of this inning. Exactly what Carlos Martinez needed. Problem for Martinez is he has not been able to handle other guys in this lineup, including Aramis Ramirez, who had a base hit and an RBI in the 3rd.
Just the 5th double play that McCutchen has grounded into this year. And one of the keys for the Pirates in this game, 2 out RBI base hits. One of those, as you mentioned, by Ramirez back in the 3rd.
Okay, no mas.
Fly ball left field. Along with Roberto Duran. Out the McLaughlin.
No mas.
Jim Hayes is here. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
You remember that?
Wine and Carlos Martinez gave up that home run to Pedro Alvarez. One of 3 Pirates runs scored thus far, and the Pirates have the lead 3-1 here in St. Louis. The AT U-verse rewind. That, my friend, was a no-doubter. Usually when he hits them, they are no-doubters.
We've talked about this before, Dan, but the time when Pedro Alvarez was at his worst, I would say that was the worst swing I've ever seen a big league player have ever. He had no chance of getting a hit, which was confirmed by people in his dugout, and it was a bad time. He just could not make contact. But you wondered whether he'd ever figure it out again, and he sure did. To his credit, he worked hard and he overcame kind of the mental anguish of being a guy that was striking out at that time for a period of time. 3 out of 4 times he came to the plate.
Then he just tore up the Cardinals. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
For about a season and a half, he was the toughest out for the Cardinals. 2 balls, 1 strike on Colton Wong. 1 for 2 of the runs scored tonight. Johnny Peralta on deck, and then Jason Hayward. 3-1 Pittsburgh.
Locke will not be allowed to go very deep into a game. It is a good Pirates bullpen. They don't kind of give him much of a leash. If he gets into any trouble, they'll come get him. You'd expect him to go 5, but this could be an important inning here for the Cardinals to get things going. 2, 3, 4 in the order. Make it tougher for Clint Hurdle to figure out how to work his bullpen.
The second walk issued by Jeff Locke, and it brings in Peralta, who snapped an 0 for 15 with a base hit to center in the first and then struck out with 2 runners on in the 3rd. We also know at the back end of their games, Mark Melancon has turned into one of the best in the National League.
33 straight saves. Save leader in the bullpen in left field. The guy in second place in the National League is in the right field bullpen. That's Trevor Rosenthal.
Think about getting in on a right-hander like Johnny Peralta. There's a look at where Locke situates himself to deliver the pitch. Can he get far enough in? Oof, what a cut that was.
It's a problem with a guy like Peralta. He's got the power. He's such a good fastball hitter that if you miss in, if you don't get it in, there's Cervelli on the inner half, and that is the inside corner. But you talk about 2 inches maybe out over the plate. We've got a tie ball game.
Shorter lead this time by Wong. Cubbies with a 5-1 lead, bottom of the 4th against Milwaukee. Two balls, 1 strike. Just thinking right along with you that this is a key inning, middle of the lineup. Again, they don't go deep very often with Jeff Locke.
How do you feel about thinking right along with me?
You're thinking home run. 3-1.
Still thinking it. I like the matchup here. Still working the gum.
Last home run was on August 1st against Colorado for Johnny Peralta. 3-1 pitch. We'll take that if it stayed fair. 3-2. Out in front just a bit. See if the Cardinals want to start the runner here on 3-2. There he goes, and the pitch is taken for a ball. Back-to-back walks. And 3 in this game. In steps Hayward. Join us for St. Louis Browns Night, presented by Garden View Care Centers on Monday, August 17th. Cardinals will host the Giants next Monday. Fans who purchase a special St. Louis Browns Night theme ticket receive a limited edition Browns cap. That'll be a fun night. There's a look at that cap, and here comes Ray Search. Ray Search has done a terrific job with the staff of Pittsburgh. When you think about Liriano, you think about Volquez, some of the guys that they've really turned around. It's done a heck of a job.
Ray was a guy that got a lot out of, I would say, good major league ability, but he got a lot out of his ability. He was a longtime minor leaguer, finally got his chance late to pitch in the big leagues for the White Sox and then the Dodgers. And Ray had been a longtime minor leaguer, as I said, was with the Cardinals quite a bit at that time. And I just think he learned a lot of things the hard way. And the guys that learn things the hard way and have to figure out how to survive can become really good pitching coaches.
So again, the Cardinals with runners in scoring position. This time it's Colton Wong, the runner at second base. Peralta is at first. They are stretching right now in the bullpen for Pittsburgh. The 1-0. Little frustration there now for Jeff Locke. 2 balls, no strikes. See if Hayward can't put a charge into one. Ground ball, base hit right side. Here comes Wong. They'll wave him in. He will score, and it's 3-2 on an RBI single by Jason Hayward.
Another good at-bat for a Cardinal left-hander against the lefty Locke. Drives this ball to the right side. Not a bad pitch, really, but hits the ball hard. Polanco, no chance to want to throw out Colton Wong because he's got to worry about the second runner. He doesn't want him to go to third, so Polanco gets it in wisely. Really nice at-bat for Hayward. 2 hits for him.
Here's Randall Grichuk. Reached on an error. Back in the first. Struck out with the bases loaded. 1 out in the third. Slowly hit left side. Ramirez bare hands and makes the play. Runners advance to second and third. It's a good play by Aramis Ramirez.
Sure is. I think he became a better fielder when he got older.
There is no doubt in my mind, because his first few years in Pittsburgh, there's not a chance he makes that play.
I agree. He might have been younger. He might have been quicker. But I think he's a little wiser and a little smoother.
Here's Molina. He came up with 2 outs, runners at second and third in the first. Grounded out, came up. 2 outs, bases loaded in the third, grounded out. First pitch to Molina. First pitch, fly ball, center field. McCutcheon, the throw to the plate. This game is tied.
Wanted more, but when he hit that ball, I didn't think it would be deep enough necessarily to score Johnny Peralta from third. Throw up the line a bit, not a real strong throw from McCutcheon.
So the 2 walks have come around to score this inning. We're tied up. It's 3-3. 2 outs, runner in third for Stephen Piscotty, who doubled off the glove of Ramirez back in the fourth.
Yanni wanted more, but he got the job done. He got the ball to the outfield.
McCutcheon, we've seen better throws from him, haven't we?
Yes. I think he got behind that ball very well. Wouldn't call it a strong throw either.
1-2 on Piscotty.
You know, Yachty kind of being mad about that at bat just makes me remember what it's like to be in a clubhouse full of perfectionists. Perfectionists, high performance individuals that fail a lot. It's tough.
Here's a 1-2. Doesn't get the call. 2-2. And again going in on a righty. He's had success doing that here tonight.
Really had a sense that this was an important inning for the Cardinals to get back in this game. The time was now. Don't let it get to the bullpen in the 6th and beyond.
Piscotty into center, base hit. Redbirds on top. Piscotty his second hit. 4-3 St. Louis.
So Locke does not get the fastball in, call third strike, inning over on a close call. Then what does he do? Goes backdoor with a curveball, catches the middle of the plate, and Piscotty jumps on it.
Big 2-out hit. Now it's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds is over 2. He is grounded out to third and hit a soft liner to second. Previous at bat, that soft liner would be in right field. They've got the shift on here.
And Danny, I'm not saying our home plate umpire Adam Amari is missing those calls. I think he's been consistent here. But if Locke were to get the benefit of some of those calls, maybe an extended plate a bit, or maybe a corner here and there, might be a different story. Certainly would be in this inning.
The 1-1. Reynolds with 15 career home runs against the Buccos. Fights it off into shallow right. Polanco is there. 2 walks come around to score. The Cardinals have 2 hits in the inning. And a big one from rookie Stephen Piscotty. His second of the night. 2-out RBI base hit. Birds on top. They have ended in a walk-off. 1-run wins. Runs evenly matched along with on-base percentage. It's been fun to watch.
Really has been a very close series this season. 2 teams very good at a lot of things. I mean, they pitch well. Their bullpens are good. They've got some spots in their offense where they can be very streaky in a positive way. And they win 1-run games. Interesting that we've had plenty of those. The Pirates, by the way, 24-14 in 1-run games overall, including the 3 losses against St. Louis in May.
Adam Hamari is hearing it from the Pirates bench. Just said that's enough. And you're going back, I think rightfully so, as Gung hits it out of play, to the Piscotty at bat, where he had the pitch prior to the single in the right, turning into a ball, which very well could have gone the other way.
Often when a club is arguing about a call, they're doing that out of something they remember from earlier.
Chop to third. It's on the line, and Carpenter makes the play.
It's built up.
Here's Neil Walker, who is 0 for 2. Grounded to first and also grounded out to second. This needs to be a shutdown inning for Carlos Martinez.
Yeah, and an interesting decision what to do with Carlos Martinez. He hasn't thrown a lot of pitches in this game. He's only at 70 pitches. And you'd say, well, you know, not his sharpest, so do you really kind of toy with him and send him back out there? If he gets through this inning quickly, do you send him back out there for the 7th or not? Or do you just kind of escape and kind of move on even though the pitch count's low?
Guys are always moving, and this at bat alone, Grichuk was racing from shading him into left center. Now he's in right center. Hayward now is moved back about 10 steps from where he was to start the at bat.
Walker has power, Dan, from the left side. All 11 home runs he's hit this season, he's hit from the left side. So you have to respect that. Wouldn't call him a power hitter, but I'd call him a good player.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Reliable. He's from the Pittsburgh area. We've talked about that in the past. He's tried to learn catcher, third base, outfield. He's found a home at second base. He'll find a home in the dugout now. What's on tap, presented by Budweiser. What a matchup. Arguably the best matchup in baseball tomorrow. Garrett Cole, 14-5. Michael Wacha, 13-4. What a pitching matchup this will be. Two young right-handers going head-to-head as we come your way at 6:30.
My point about what Mike Matheny will do with Carlos Martinez is kind of a question because he's leading off the next inning.
Extra bases for Alvarez. Shoots it in the gap in right center. And the tying run in scoring position for Pittsburgh. Alvarez is 2 for 3 with a double and a home run.
And both balls smoked. That pitch up. One of the factors with Martinez is despite just 75 pitches, again assuming he gets out of this inning with a lead, but it may be one of those times where you bank some innings for Carlos Martinez.
Thinking about that too.
Not
part of the process.
The sharpest he's been. Some stirring in the Cardinals bullpen.
Travis Ishikawa has moved to the on-deck circle. He would pinch hit for Locke if we get there. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Francisco Cervelli, who's 0 for 2. Hit speed for Pedro Alvarez. That's some power. And a fly ball lifted into right center. Grichuk near the track, on the track, and makes the catch. Our Chevrolet called to the pen. He is a hard thrower. Pittsburgh picked him up. And we are midway in the 6th. The Cardinals have a 4-3 lead.
Pirates did a good job of finding this right-hander and giving him a shot at being a big leaguer. Four-seam fastball or Hyundai pitch arsenal for Caminero. Cutter, slider, sinker, but that fastball rushes up to 100 miles an hour. They love this guy. They think he's got an upside. Maybe he has to learn to make a few less mistakes, but getting a shot at a bullpen for a frontline team in baseball, the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nobody is getting loose in the Cardinals bench, so you've got Martinez giving you at least one more inning. You think about 1 and 2 in the lineup against Carlos tonight, and that's Polanco and Marte. They're combined 4 for 6 against Martinez, and you could see either way.
You can, and the pitch count's low enough certainly to justify giving Carlos a chance. And generally you want to see guys get a chance. We're talking about it with Bob Walk, longtime Pirate broadcaster, also pitched for the Pirates for years, and he said, you're never going to find out about a guy unless you let him get into the 7th and the 8th inning. He said, we bring up all these minor league starters and they have no decisions because they're not left in long enough to find out what they can do. So that's part of what you want, but you're also, there's Bob on the right. As you're dealing in modern day statistics, there's a clear understanding that too many innings increases the likelihood of injury too. So that's the other thing you're trying to do, is bank some of those innings. That's the other side of it.
So a strikeout of Martinez for Caminero, and now we're at the top of the lineup, and Matt Carpenter single to center on a broken bat in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and also flied out to left. So Waka and Cole tomorrow. Lance Lynn and Francisco Liriano. The game on Thursday. Note the start time if you have a ticket. It's at 6:15 on Thursday. Will come your way at 5:30.
Dan, I think another thing you have to think about is there has been some hard hit balls off of Carlos Martinez the last 4 or 5 hitters. Ramirez soft liner to left, but looked like he had a pitch he could handle to end the 5th, and then Cervelli just missed that ball into deep right center field. Alvarez before that crushed a double. I just think it's certainly taking a chance sending him back out, but I get it.
The 2-1 is grounded to second. There's Walker, backhands and makes the play. So Walker puts away Matt Carpenter for out number 2. It brings in Colton Wong, and we turn to our Kia in the driver's seat. Highest winning percentage since 2013, and these two have been the best. This is in all of baseball. St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and the Dodgers, Royals, and Nationals. It's one of those decisions that Mike Matheny has, and I can see both.
Oh yeah,
both ways.
100%. I love the way Tim McCarver describes those kind of decisions as when you guys are together. He talks about it as really a fool's errand to try to say that there is a definitive answer. I think that's where we get confused on this, to say no, he should, no, he shouldn't have. Well, the definitive answer comes the next morning when you when you pick up the newspaper and you find out what happened, or your iPad, or wherever you get your news.
Well, I agree with that to an extent. Some decisions are a little easier than others.
Oh yeah, but many decisions in this game are based on feel, based on that day, and so many factors. But you don't just plug it into a formula and say it's right or wrong. It's just the best choice you can make with the information you have at that time.
Colton Wong on base for the 3rd time to go along with a walk and 2 hits. Here's Peralta. Single to center. He struck out and walked and scored. Jeff Locke has to be kicking himself for that 5th inning. Back-to-back walks to start the inning with a 3-1 lead.
Carlos Martinez is the one that's had more trouble with walks this year than Locke has.
Right.
Locke's about 4+ per 9 innings. That's not great, but Carlos Martinez, second in the National League coming into this start with 51 walks.
Wong, a little bigger lead this time at first. And Peralta hits a fly ball into right. Gregory Polanco puts it away. We head to the 7th, and so does Martinez. Went 5 innings. Alvarez 2 for 3 with a homer. Carlos Martinez still pitching into this game as we move to the 7th. And Jason Hayward is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Travis Ishikawa, the postseason hero of the Giants against the Cardinals last year when he hit the walk-off home run. He went 5 for 13 in that series wearing the Giants uniform with 7 RBIs. First pitch to him is taken for a ball. Again, Polanco, then Marte after Ishikawa. That combination has gone 4 for 6 tonight against Carlos Martinez. Segrist is up in the pen. What you would imagine is a short leash for Carlos Martinez. Let him start the inning and then see how it all unfolds.
That's the other option. Yes. And I think you get to the point where you have to face Andrew McCutchen in this inning. I wouldn't be quite so comfortable thinking that he's going to have 4 bad at-bats in a row. So you'd like to see McCutchen hit in the 8th inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes, big gap in right center. That breaking ball has had really good late movement tonight. Sharp.
He's hung a couple, which is going to happen.
(3-2) pitch, and he got him with a changeup. 7 strikeouts for Carlos Martinez. Now at McDonald's, get any size McCafe Frappe or smoothie for just $1.99. In steps Gregory Polanco.
You mentioned it earlier, Dan, but how about the pitching matchups in this series? We're going to see Waka and Cole in game 2. Lynn and Liriano in game 3. You've really got 5 of the 6 top National League starters. I mean, Locke's had a nice year, but you're talking about 5 really good frontline pitchers in 2015 in this series alone.
1-1 is backhanded by Wong. And safe at first. How about the speed of Polanco on a hard hit ball to the right side, and he beats it out.
Colton looks surprised, and I don't blame him. He had closing speed, didn't he? There's Wong. Takes his time, sets. Didn't have that time. Polanco beats it out. Look at those long strides. Wow.
Now it's Starling Marte. Wong did a good job to get to that ball, but I think you're right. I think he thought he maybe had a little bit more time than he did. Cardinals have turned 1 double play tonight. Polanco is 3rd hit. Pulled foul. If you're Mike Matheny and Marte would reach with the way that Martinez has pitched McCutchen tonight, would he face Andrew McCutchen, or do you go to your bullpen?
I think you leave him in to face McCutchen and you hold your breath.
He's done a very good job against him with a couple of strikeouts, grounded into a double play. Breaking ball misses low and away. One ball, 1 strike. Could they turn 2? 6, 4, 3 with the double play. It's a double play. Martinez out of the jam. Peralta had a little issue getting it out of the glove, but what a quick turn by Colton Wong, and the double play, the 2nd turn by St. Louis tonight. Time to stretch. Cardinals on top. Cardinals player hits a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Antonio Bastardo, former Philly, is in for Pittsburgh. Our Chevy called to the pen, his 43rd appearance. So Jason Hayward will lead it off. And then we'll see Randall Grichuk and Yadier Molina.
Bastardo had some nice years with the Phillies.
Think about the Cardinals and the double plays turn tonight with two of their fastest men at the plate. They turned a double play with McCutchen, 6'3", back in the 5th. And then Marte, who can fly, 6'4", with a double play. So impressed, I'm sure you are as well, and many that are watching tonight, with Colton Wong and the way that he turns a double play. Man, is he quick.
Would you get the sense that he wanted that double play to make up for not getting rid of the ground ball first? And
Absolutely.
then he was especially quick. You mentioned Peralta had a little trouble getting it out of his glove and with Marte running, I mean, he could fly.
Hayward's had a good night with 2 RBIs. Happy birthday to Lila Kurtz from Kirkwood, Missouri, as she turns 29 and never misses a game. Two balls and no strikes. Also happy 10th birthday to Ryan Mooney. Big Cardinal fan. Two and one. Now if a right-hander comes up, does John Jay say, well, I'm not taking that chance. I'm going in the dugout.
He wouldn't be quite so relaxed.
Maybe grabs a glove. 3-1 pitch. Just under 2 months to go in this regular season. What have we learned about Jason Hayward?
I think we've learned that all the reports that he's a slow starter and he gets better as the season rolls on were accurate, at least for this season. We learned that he is the defensive player we thought he would be.
It's a fly ball out to left field. Marte coming on and makes the catch.
And I think we've learned that he's not an easy player to define. What kind of player is he?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Cardinals care. 6K run is coming up. That's Sunday, September 13th. Get to finish that race inside Busch Stadium. That benefits the area kids through Cardinals Care. Cardinals.com/6K, and we hope you sign up. Here's Grichuk. Hitless tonight. Our crowd tonight, 41,273. 41273. Oh and 2. Grichuk reached on an air back in the first. With 1 out, bases loaded, struck out in the 3rd. And then with runners at 1st and 2nd in the 5th, grounded out on a very good play, barehanded by Aramis Ramirez. The 0-2. And a fly ball lifted into right. Gregory Polanco. Out number 2. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis along with Rick Horton and Jim Hayes. My name is Dan McLaughlin. Thanks for being with us tonight and all season long. Hope you enjoyed this ball game. We thought it would be close, and it has been.
Bunch of one-run games already this season between these two clubs that are so close in terms of their ability. Only 5 games separate them in the win column. Pitching good. Competitive night after night. I think one of the things that's been amazing about the Pirates is how poorly they've played in the division. I think that's really been the difference for them. They just have not played, and I'm not talking about the Cardinals, I'm talking about playing other teams. Their record 7 games under 500 in the division. The Cardinals 13 games over 500 in the Central.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Molina. It's the first at bat that Molina tonight has not swung at the first pitch. 2 balls, no strikes. We were wondering whether Martinez would head out and pitch the 7th inning. Well, now it looks like he's going to start the 8th.
Yachty chasing that pitch way out of the zone. Uncharacteristic of Molina to expand his zone like that.
2-2. Looking ahead, the Pirates will have McCutchen, Ramirez, and Gunn.
Are we going to be wondering about this for the 9th as well?
No, sir. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
And what did Joaquin Andujar, your teammate, always say?
There's one word to describe the game of baseball. One word only. And that word is you never know.
What a piece of work, huh?
I loved Joaquin. Never a dull moment.
I bet. Here's a 2-2. And Molina hits a high fly ball. Left field. Starling Marte. DeStardo sets down the Cardinals in order. Martinez gets the heart of the lineup when we come back. Sports Midwest, we head to our studio. Pat Paris standing by with a Bomberito Sports Update. So it's McCutchen to lead things off as we start play here in the 8th. Martinez, very good again here tonight. First pitch is a strike. Been a tough night for Andrew McCutchen. Was called out on strikes with a man at second back in the first. One out, runner at third in the third. Struck out, swinging. And then with 2 runners on in the 5th, grounded into an inning-ending double play. So 0 for 3 tonight. Here's a 1-1.
Carlos going 7+ innings according to the Cardinals PR department for the first time this year in a game where he's given up more than 1 run. That's part of the oddity of him being in this game. Part of the decision we were talking about. It has not been typical for Carlos in a game where he's given up some runs to pitch late. But Mike Matheny, Derek Lilliquist giving him that shot, and he's responded. At least so far. Very good 7.
2 balls, 1 strike on McCutchen. You know he could strike with 1 swing of the bat. 17 home runs. He was trying to tie it up. 2-2.
We've been saying that about Grichuk too. Grichuk may have a bad day, maybe 0 for 3. He's 0 for 4 today, but he just likes talking to Jim Hayes so much after the game. He's bound to do something dramatic late.
Who would want to do that? Center field. McCutchen hits it to Grichuk. Segrist is up and throwing for the 2nd time. Might be one of those situations where if he gets in any kind of trouble, hit, walk, they go to Segrist. Runner's night is coming up. That's Thursday against Pittsburgh. Take home a one-of-a-kind tech shirt. It's this Thursday. Exciting theme night here at the ballpark.
You have any pull to get me one of those?
I do.
You do?
I do. You want one?
I do.
Done.
If you get me one, Dan, I'll wear it in the Rock and Roll Half Marathon.
You're training for that, right?
In October.
Good
Yes.
for you.
And if you sign it, I'll wear it with even more pride.
You were very exhausted, you told me over the weekend, watching the triathlon in Milwaukee.
Well, that's
you didn't participate, but you were just watching.
That's the training I'm talking about. That doesn't count?
I think it does. You're getting some good techniques.
Yeah.
How to finish. Here's a 1-2. 2-2 on Ramirez. Martinez wanted that call. Rick Horton tech shirt for Thursday. Writing it down right now.
Outstanding.
The 2-2.
I'll trade you a Ken Daly bobblehead for the tech shirt.
Done. I'm in.
I had pull in that regard.
Notice I didn't ask for yours.
I did notice that. A little hurt, actually.
I'll get you yours. 3-2. And we're talking about Ramirez. When he first came up with Pittsburgh, this body type was not what we see here. The range is better now, even at this age, than it was when he first came up. 3-2. And a fly ball lifted out to right. Hayward. He's got it. Again, talking about what Rick mentioned a few moments ago, Pittsburgh inside the Central Division, 20-27. The Cardinals 30-17. And trying to make this a 6-game lead with a win here tonight.
Such a big swing, isn't it?
It's huge.
And I don't think the Pirates or the Cardinals are done being concerned about the Chicago Cubs either. I think that's a good team. Well managed and coached. But Clint Hurdle and Mike Matheny have just had fantastic seasons. Both of them have.
Here's Gunn.
And I think especially for the Pirates, Dan, and we were talking about this the other day, there were many off-season kind of predictions that the Pirates would get worse and maybe be a 500 team, that the Brewers would be better. That prediction was wrong. They thought Cincinnati would struggle, and that the Cubs, many predicted the Cubs to be first or second, and the Cardinals to be maybe a little worse. Well, the Cardinals aren't worse, and neither are the Pirates.
No. Pitch number 106 from Martinez. The 2-1. 2-2. This crowd sensing it, they come alive. Eight strikeouts tonight for Carlos Martinez. On Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. What a job by Carlos Martinez. Now Rosenthal is up and getting loose in the pen. We wondered, would he go out for the 7th? He did. The decision proved to be the right one. Oh, back to Hughes. Thank goodness he's all right. My goodness, is that scary. It's another base hit for Stephen Piscotty.
There's the pitch. And he barely has time to react to that. Oh, my. That's incredible that he was able to get a glove on that. You see the pitchers talking about it and concerned, really everybody.
It's a 3-hit night for Stephen Piscotty, and a nice round of applause here for Hughes.
Boy. 98 miles an hour off the bat. He threw it 90 plus in one direction and it came back 98. But the hitter's ready, the pitcher's not. The pitcher's doing something else, finishing a pitch, and then you have to react.
I think that's a little red mark too from the ball. I think the ball got a little bit of the face.
Very well could be. I see it too.
My goodness.
Happened so fast. He has the presence of mind to try to track the ball down, and then your heart starts to beat a little faster.
And a base hit to left by Reynolds. Hughes has struggled on the road this year. His ERA well above 3. At home, it's under 2. And to break it down even further, against the NL Central, it's close to 5.
Look, Dan, we've been crediting the Pittsburgh Pirate pitching staff, but they've got some holes developing in this team. A.J. Burnett has had some issues with his throwing arm. He did throw today, he played catch today, but he hasn't been pitching lately, and there's hope that he can come back. But the Pirates bullpen, actually overall ERA in the second half is 4.87.
Yeah. Here's Borges to bunt, potentially. It's a bunt towards third, and the runners advance to second and third. The Cardinals had Moss ready to pinch hit. They pulled him back after the single by Reynolds, and Borges gets the bunt out.
Frankly, we've seen really not just the Cardinals everywhere that bunting has been an adventure at times, but this is perfectly done. He's got the right angle set, and boy, it looked easy, didn't it?
Too easy almost.
Yeah.
The way that some of these bunts have been going. Now the infield is drawn in. And a chance here for Carpenter, one of the best in baseball with runners in scoring position, top 15 in the league.
I wonder if you think about walking Carpenter here with first base open. It's only a 1-run game. You don't want too many base runners late, but you can't afford any more runs. And you've got Carpenter hitting with the infield in. Would you rather take your chances with Long?
1-0 pitch. 2 balls, no strikes, and that decision may be a little easier now. Falling behind 2-0. Carpenter singled his first time up, then he walked. He's flying to left and grounded out to second.
There's a sign that's used in baseball when you put your forefinger towards the ground and circle it around. If that comes from the bench to a catcher, that means be around the plate, be careful. Now, if a catcher uses that sign, it means sinker. So there's you better know how to decipher things in this game.
Here's a 3-0. Bases loaded for Comblong. Wong against Hughes, by the way. 0 for 3. This year with the bases loaded, 2 for 9. I want to go back to Piscotty's ball. You played this game a long time.
Oh, boy.
Trying to regroup after something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to block it out, frankly. You're trying not to think about it. But, you know, you're a human being, and you have fears and joys and frustrations, and like anybody else does. And how you don't kind of let that affect you is, I mean, it'd be hard for it not to be somewhere in the back of his mind right now. I'll tell you where you notice it. After I got hit one time, not towards the face, but in the thigh.
Ground ball to Alvarez, fires a strike home. Bases will remain loaded, and a chance for Peralta.
Missed opportunity there for Colton Wong, but to finish that thought, when you're hit, sometimes in pitches that follow, you don't finish them. You're too busy kind of wanting to react to what might happen afterwards, and you become a little too reactionary instead of following through and finishing your pitch. That happens quite a bit.
2 for 6 in this spot this year. Bases loaded. 2 outs for Peralta. Strike 1. Strike 2. Inning started with a base hit by Piscotty. He was erased. The play at the plate. So Reynolds, who singled, Carpenter the walk. Wong hit into the fielder's choice. He stands at first. The 0-2. Peralta hits it to third. Force play at second, and Hughes is out of the jam. Rosenthal coming on when we come back. After a missed opportunity for the Cardinals with the bases loaded. T-Mobile fan photo. Use that hashtag, by the way, for those fan photos. MW Data Strong Fan. Trevor Rosenthal. 33 of 35 in save opportunities. Last time we saw him over the weekend in Milwaukee, and he was electric.
A lot of good numbers for Trevor Rosenthal. One of the numbers I like the most, because the stuff you just take for granted is the 18 walks.
Yeah, which was an issue a year ago.
At times, yes. When he throws strikes, he's very, very hard to get to.
Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez, and then Cervelli. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. 1 ball, 1 strike. Walker, the switch hitter, 0 for 3 tonight. Pair of ground outs and a strikeout. Cardinals trying to hold on. And if they do, it's win number 72 and win number 12 for Carlos Martinez. 1-2. One-two is hit out of play. Changeup that got an awful lot of the plate.
Changeup's been a good pitch for him, though. He's not afraid to use it. He'll throw it a lot. Surprisingly, for a guy that throws 100, you get a lot of changeups from Rosenthal.
One ball, 2 strikes. He got him on the outside corner. Walker can't believe it. He's going to get tossed. First out here in the top of the ninth.
Well, let's see. Close.
Remember we were talking about pitch framing?
Yeah.
That may have been a good example right there. Soft, quiet hands of Molina behind home plate. 1 out, nobody on. Here's Alvarez, who is homered and also doubled. He's 1 for 8 in his career against the Cardinals closer. First pitch is a strike. Alvarez didn't like that call. Outfield is deep. Borges, by the way, stayed in the game. He's in center field.
Just an at-bat that worries you, isn't it?
How can it not? One swing of the bat, he could tie it up. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Not
2-2.
Not getting cheated. He jumped a little bit at that delivery.
The 2-2.
His bat speed is very good tonight, which is related to how hard he's hit the ball tonight.
He got him. 2 down here in the ninth. Back-to-back strikeouts for Rosenthal. Be sure to catch Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1. Complete highlights and analysis of everything that happened in Major League Baseball, plus the latest from NFL training camps, all coming up on Fox Sports Live. On their feet, 41,000 plus. Cervelli at the plate. Strike 1. The 1-1. Going with the curveball again. Here the Pirates, you almost can eliminate that pitch right now. He hasn't been able to throw it for a strike.
He's trying to overthrow it, which means you leave it high.
The 2-1. Now it's 2-2. Pirates down to their final strike.
Well, you can look fastball, doesn't mean you're going to hit it.
The 2-2. Three-two pitch. Strikes out the side. Cardinals 6 in front of Pittsburgh. They're going crazy here at Busch Stadium. 4-3 the final. Budweiser player of the game, Carlos Martinez. 8 innings, 9 hits, 3 earned. Just enough. Rosenthal dominant at the end. Picks up the save.
No walks for Martinez. The Cardinals found a way to get a 3-run 5th inning to take this game. And as you said, a dominant Trevor Rosenthal. Perhaps not getting enough credit for what he's been able to do all season long. He's been lights out tonight. He was perfect, striking out the side in the ninth.
On to the post-game show. On a 3-2 pitch, he strikes out Francisco Cervelli. And Busch Stadium.